All right, and we are live on Bourbon Blog Live. It's Matty Rock and Pete Totaro, both ambassadors for Drew Estate Cigars, both great friends of mine, and the first time we've all kind of been together for quite a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. All three of us. The last time would be Vegas, my man.
It would have been Vegas. It's great to see you, Pete. And I know we've been really enjoying Matty the last few weeks. I'm glad you could come along with us tonight. And Matty,
my pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
Yes, and Matty Rock, always great to see you all. And again, thanks for watching us on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Any questions at all, make sure you're liking this. Make sure you're sharing this. We're just taking it real easy and enjoying some great cigars and some great cocktails. What are you smoking there, Matty?
I think we're twins today, so I got my Pappy Van Winkle.
We're both doing the Pappy thing. And how about you, Pete?
Well, I was on a kayak for 5 hours today, and between a Pappy Van Winkle, a Chateaubriand Maduro, a Year of the Rat, I think one other that I can't recall. I had that. That was my third cigar today.
Yeah.
Right
so
now I'm
a little
smoking.
mild, or are you cigared out?
No way. I'm smoking a Herrera Estelí TAA exclusive.
Excellent.
Awesome stick. Smooth, a little bit smoother than the Miami, but fantastic.
So I love that one. And did you kind of plan your lineup just on the course of the day? How did you do that, Pete?
Well, my first cigar of the day usually is a tobacco with my coffee.
Right.
With my coffee, I grind the coffee from Shad, who's out in, where is it, Matty? Where's Shad?
Out in Wyoming, brother.
Out in Wyoming. He sent it through, working through Jesse Flores. I bought a whole many pounds of the coffee, and I usually grind it every morning. Get my cup, go take a ride, or look at the sunrise, and smoke my tobacco special every day, every single day, even on the way to work.
I'm hoping Shad and Shay pop on tonight so we could give him a quick howdy do.
Now
That'd be cool. Yeah, he messaged me earlier.
That's one that a lot of people enjoy for their first sort of cigar of the day with that tobacco plus the coffee, right?
Exactly. I mean, it for me and for a lot of other people, it just blends well. It's like they're married together. You're smoking the coffee, you're drinking the coffee, and it's like my zen on the way to work, especially on the way to work. I always drive slow. I take my time, and I get to finish my cigar. I have my coffee, and I'm in a nice place before I go with the help. Yeah.
He's driving 18. People are honking at him.
Oh, people hate me, man. They just pass me on a no passing zone there, but they know it's me.
He's truthfully representing Jersey correctly. Finger extended, driving 18 and honking. Yep.
Yeah.
Make me proud, Totaro. Make me proud.
You got it.
Oh, that's
what are you drinking, Tom?
You're both you're both joining me from New Jersey, right? You're both in New Jersey right now.
Petey's on
Matty
the border,
represents the north, and I represent the south.
It's two sides of New Jersey. I'm right here on the border of Indiana, Kentucky. In a moment, I'm going to be drinking what you're drinking, but I'm starting it off with a little PX cask finish. It's a sherry Breckenridge that I think I may have poured for you guys at some point. The PX sherry cask does such a
very
nice
nice.
With the bourbon. In a moment, I'm going to be drinking what you're drinking. What are you drinking there, Pete?
I am drinking at this moment. I'm drinking the Peerless Bourbon. I'm going to go over to the Peerless Rye right after this.
Right. Cool. Well, let's talk about a little bit what's been happening in both of your worlds and just in the cigar world. Since it's great stuff. I got mine right here. Since I last saw you both, saw you all last year together in Vegas. What's new with you guys?
Go ahead, Matty.
Well, Tom hears me yapping every week. So for me, taking each day as it comes here. From last week, a couple more things starting to open up over here. As you know, New York, New Jersey are the slowest to come to full steam. So next week, a couple more phase 2 will come in. Some more businesses will be allowed to open. Outside dining institutions will be able to start welcoming customers. Indoor dining still not happening just yet. So probably another solid 2-3 weeks before that. But considering we were at ground zero, I get it. I understand it. I don't derive much joy of it, but I get it.
Right.
So these two states really, really slow recovery.
Right.
And we're just waiting for it to come back.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And so again, some restaurants will be open in, you said the next week or so?
Yeah,
Outdoor.
starting up. I just got a text message. So Bourbon Blog Live today. We're on. Somebody just said that they have the chef with donuts on their thing they're looking at.
We got to change that link. We'll change that real quick. I think that link may not have gone active. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah, that's right on YouTube. That's it. The donut National Donut Day is on there. That's what I was looking at before.
We try our best to keep that updated, and I tell you, I'm glad you told me, because we always make sure we're on Bourbon Blog Live. And again, if you're watching us, wherever you're watching us from, make sure you bookmark the channel, the Twitter, the Facebook, the YouTube. But also, usually you can get our nightly broadcast right there on the Bourbon Blog /live. I'm going to change that so those people have it. I thought they had it, but it's. I tell you, it's what's the temperature there like today? It's really it's like 100 degrees here. What's it there, about a 90?
Today was beautiful. We were looking at 86. I spent over 5 hours on the Barnegat Bay behind me. I don't know if you guys can say it.
How do you say it?
It's called the Barnegat Bay. It's a bay that runs from Point Pleasant all the way down. The bay just keeps on going all the way down South Pass, Atlantic City. We were on our kayaks for around 5 hours today.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. In the morning, we went out. We were kayaking for 2 hours. We bought some food. We bought water and all that. We came back from lunch, and we went out for 3 more hours. We bought a little road soda and a couple more cigars, and my better half even smoked a little Laratan. Is that how we say it, Matt?
Smoked what? Say again?
The Laratan, the opposite of natural?
Yeah, the Laratan. You got it.
Yep. She loves the little Laratan. So I'm getting my girl to slowly get into smoking. If I can get into I don't want to get into a bourbon, then she'll drink mine. So.
No, that's I agree with that thought process.
We can always find you more. That's
I have people bouncing on texting me.
Okay, here I'm making sure the link is changed. It's coming up here. So did I see that you guys had did I see that you all had put up something about a new cigar? Is it the BOTL that I saw something?
Yeah.
The BOTL.
Tell me, is that going to be is that coming out pretty soon?
It's out.
Delivery date October or August
for the new sizes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The new.
So
tell us about that.
It's made a comeback. It was out a couple of years back. So it's made its way back into the Drew Estate rotation. I'll make sure that one of those come your way so we can have a nice smoke over that. And you guys you guys can pair that up with the drink.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. And again, tell me about it. What's the?
I have to go look at the wrapper construction on it so I don't misspeak. But I believe it's a Habano wrapper, but I got to go double check on it. Medium, full in nature, solid smoke. You have a little bit of light pepper in there, a little bit of spice. And it's one of those sticks, like I said, I'm a Lancero guy, so they produce the Lancero size in that, so I'm a huge fan. And to me, in that format, absolutely love that stick. Definitely in the rotation when you're able to get hold of those Lanceros. So I'll see if that's something I could pump out for you, but that's definitely a go-to stick.
Absolutely. Hey, everything's good on the live now. So again, you can tell your friends. I'll even put it up there. And thanks for everyone's patience. We want to make sure we do this every night, so we want to make sure you know where to find us. Bourbonblog.com /live is always the best place to remember that. Forwards to our YouTube channel, but of course Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're watching this, bookmark that too. But we are now good on that link. I tell you, I love this Pappy cigar. Of course, who wouldn't love something that's Pappy or whiskey related? But tell me, we talked about this one a few weeks ago. The beautiful smoky notes, some real nice kind of almost char that comes alive here. Tell me about this.
Well, I'll give you the lead in, and then you guys are the bourbon guys could go in after. And what makes this a really neat smoke is you just don't have the infusion of Pappy Van Winkle that makes it interesting, but you got some of that Kentucky fire cured tobacco in there. So you're getting a really, really unique, one of a kind smoke. So people who haven't smoked it before, I highly recommend it. It's not something people go, it's going to be too strong for me. It's going to put me on my butt. It really doesn't. I put it at a medium medium full at very most. Pete, I think you think probably more medium.
Yeah.
And like you get so many different notes in it. So even a guy like me who hasn't drank in years can appreciate this with either a good steak, a burger, and like I said, since it has the natural sweetness, I paired it up with this evening. If you're a dirty Jersey guy or a New York guy like Pete and I, Stewart's has been around for about 100 years.
Forever.
Old school place used to be, drive up, get your burger thing, get your root beer floats. So it has quite a history in our area of the world, and they're still making their sodas the same way 100 years later.
You know what it was for me? It was the hot dog with the chili and the raw onions and the cheese and the mustard. At 1 o'clock in the morning, they were still open, and and pierogies, and you got a side of pierogies. That's Stewart's. Right, Matty?
I told you, Tom, when you come up here, we got to do, like I said, for such a little state, our hot dog run is really something. You got Johnny and Hanchie's, you got Rutt's Hut, so you have all these places, and what's on tap? You either have Boylan's or Stewart's. It's just kind of like the law. Right. Pete will tell you, drive up into any of those old places. I think even Circus before it closed down by you, Pete, it was Stewart's.
So, yes, it was. Wow.
And, so the reason I match this up is because that black cherry has a nice richness to it. It's very, very sweet without being nauseatingly sweet, and that pairs up nicely with the smokiness, the Kentucky Fire Tobacco, and obviously the infusion of the Pappy Van Winkle. So nice. On the guy side who doesn't drink, I love these two together. It's a combination I really enjoy. And Pete, why don't you tell them what you're drinking and smoking and how it's matching up, followed by Mr. Tom.
Yes.
Well, let's go back to the to what you're smoking. I smoked it this afternoon, and I actually had my road soda was actually a little bit of bourbon.
Oh, nice.
For on the kayak today.
Yeah.
And that cigar, with its smokiness, would match up so perfectly with a nice smoky peaty scotch. A single malt, nice peaty scotch. But that being said, I had a little full of bourbon with me this afternoon, and the initial light on that cigar was you got some of the fire cured right on the initial light, and then it smooth out. You had light nuances of the fire cure all the way through, and it just matched up so well with the bourbon. The spiciness of the cigar with the smoothness, and vice versa, because each one has it. It just married each other. So it was an enjoyable experience.
Yeah. No, it's such an enjoyable. This is such an enjoyable cigar. I mean, that smoky, that fire cured on the nose, and then I'm getting more into the flavor, and I get some of the nice sugars and the nice chocolate notes. And you know what, Pete? I went ahead and just poured a little. The one you got the Peerless bottle, right? You got the Peerless bourbon.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little toast. We'll toast to our bottles, right? Cheers.
Yeah.
And I just poured a little of that. I went from the Breckenridge to the Peerless. And now this Peerless bourbon, a lot of people say what they like best about this bourbon, and it's very limited right now. The rye is fairly limited, but if you're in the states that carry it, look for the Peerless rye, for the Peerless bourbon. Look also for the Breckenridge PX. It's incredible. What I liked about the PX, what it was doing to the smoke was those sherry notes, the sherry that it's been finishing were really amplifying a lot of those sugars and just really allowing that barrel to speak. This Peerless bourbon, people say, tastes a lot like really well-crafted bourbons did it in the early 80s, and I've tried some of those, and I think there's something to that. It's really creamy. Just a really nice, almost salted caramel note to this. To me, it's really delicious. And some of that creaminess and that salted caramel, just real luscious, smooth nature, to me, it's just going against this cigar and just really just intensifying the nice, really elegant sugars I'm getting. It's really good.
It attacks the spices within there. It attacks that subtle smokiness that's coming from the Kentucky Fired tobacco, and just enhances the whole experience, which I love. And that's what, as a bourbon, a rye drinker, and a whiskey drinker, I try to explain to a lot of people how they marry together, where the different nuances of the cigar actually just marry with the different nuances that you're pulling out of the bourbon. The finish, you take a little sip and take a nice puff of the cigar, maybe retrohale a little bit, and you're experiencing so many different flavor profiles going through your senses. It's like sometimes it's sensory overload because it's so good.
Right.
It's very enjoyable. And
Absolutely.
each different bourbon and rye and proof level and just mash bill, if you will, and all that, whether it's a wheat or wheat. I have I forgot the name of it. I should bring it out. I'll bring it out in a little bit. They come out of the full. Oh my God, I'm losing it right now.
It's all right.
I
think Matty will be right back. I think he's logging back in.
Yeah, the wheated bourbons that are coming big on the market right now. I can't think of the names right now.
The wheated ones?
Yeah.
A lot of wheat. Yeah, so a lot of Buffalo Trace products are wheated.
Buffalo Trace, that's it.
Buffalo Trace, that's the one you're looking for. Yeah, that's all right.
I have a couple out of the Buffalo Trace distillery that are just amazing. Amazing. Just the different nuances that are coming out on the bourbons that marry with the cigars. And just
they are very nice. So many good people watching. I think a lot of people that know all three of us or know us both. In fact, let's put up. Hey, there's Matty's back. Some of the shout outs. You got a shout out from Chris. Is it Duque or Duke?
Oh, Duque. He's our boy from Hawaii, man. He's our brother.
Right. Matty and brought up Peter. He says a lot of great people watching. Michael Abrams, a buddy of mine. Thanks for watching.
No idea. I'll go check right now.
Yes. Bradley, sounds like he's heading up to Traverse City, Michigan. So enjoy your trip. Oh, we had somebody else it's a mutual friend, Art Kent Torrey there from Carmel by the Sea. Has a great place there. Have you been to that place he has there? Anyway, it's a great place. If you've been, tell us down below. He has a great cheese wine shop there. We'd love to try some of your cheese. Thank you for watching. I'm a big fan of Carmel, and I got to get back. It's been a little while since I've been to California. I'm usually there once every couple months.
Yes, babe, it's on top
hosting whiskey tastings. And I'll go ahead, just for those of you who are watching now, because Matty is always so kind to say, hey, go ahead and talk about it. I do host online tastings. If you guys are wanting to do an online tasting, a virtual tasting, we'll host a virtual whiskey tasting, private tasting for you. Drop me a line at tom@bourbonblog.com, and we can make that happen. We've been doing this nightly show now for something like 60-some nights, almost since COVID started. But I do these virtual tastings too. Drop me a line at tom@bourbonblog.com if you want to do one for your company, for your business, for your family. No number's too small or too big, nor too big. But do keep on watching what we do here every night. And I do them in person too. Just that's how I met Matty and Pete, was doing the tastings in person. So.
And now that you got all your outdoor stuff is coming up, guys. So if you're gonna have an outdoor event, make sure you reach out to Tom. If you're doing your cigars, your bourbons, and everything else, Tom's gonna give you that education and really tell you. Really, right, Tom, going on 15 years of doing this stuff.
Right.
He's really gonna give you quite the education on your spirits and your bourbons and your whiskeys and your rye. So he's the to-go-to guy, and he's obviously going to enrich any outdoor jam that you're working on.
Thank you.
You know what Tom reminds me of in retrospect to his profession, which is the bourbons and the ryes, Jose Blanco with tobacco, where he teaches us the nuances of tobacco. Tom is doing the same thing with the nuances of the bourbons and the ryes.
So we'll call you P2 for the professor too. All right, we'll call you P2, the professor number 2.
Professor.
No, there's only one professor. One.
Oh no, great! Gosh, it's really great. It's so cool to see you guys and to be doing this with you. Thanks for watching. Elaine, Sheldon, Michael, Chris, Chad. There's Shad. There's our buddy Shad.
Hey,
what
Chad.
Up there, baby? What up there, my brother?
Yeah.
I'll text you later, Shad.
Now you want to talk about pairing up stuff, Shad? Leave a little message up there that Tom could broadcast on your coffee and how to reach.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We love his coffee, man. I tell you what, every morning
day.
get a little bit with your Tabacco Special, smooth, full body and bold without being over the top. Love it, brother.
Yeah. Every day. Yeah. I grind it fresh.
We'll have to do that. We'll have to do an episode where we get him on and talk about the coffee. That'd be good. That'd be a fun time.
Yeah.
Would love that.
Fire up some tobacco, absolutely.
Yes. Now for the
tobacco, see if we get Jesse on too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. The tobacco there's 2 different tobaccos. Is that right?
There's a couple.
There's actually 3. You have your Tabacco Special Dolce, which has a Connecticut wrapper with a sweetened cap. You have your Tobacco Especial Negra, which is a Maduro wrapper, tiny bit different blend. Then you have the Tobacco Especial Cafe con Leche, which is a mix of the Connecticut wrapper and the Maduro wrapper.
Yep,
Which
and don't
it
forget the
gives you
red
a
eye.
flavor.
If you want to look, you almost forgot the red eye.
too.
If you want a little bit of a pop, so the red eye has now in tobacco language for those who don't know, Ligero is the strongest leaf that you get. It really adds a lot of pop.
Wow.
So you take that Ligero leaf, that's what winds up in the red eye, and the red eye will, as you can imagine by the name, will wake you up. So it's strong.
Yes, it does.
Peppery. So imagine you're having a quad espresso. So you're actually able to catch cars and stuff when you if you smoke some espresso and smoke that.
And that one is called the what's that one called again?
The red eye.
The red eye. So that's
Tobacco Especial red eye.
Serious. Yep. I'm noticing a few people. I usually do the. Litch is telling us I almost didn't recognize Tom without a bow tie. So this is one of the. I think maybe one of the first ones I've done. And thanks for watching for Breckenridge, Litch. I think this is one of the first ones I've done with you, Matty, where I haven't worn a bow tie. We're just really.
I'm ready to use like the Doodle screen app and just doodle on a little bow tie on there for that familiarity thing. So I'm doing that in my mind right now. It's like, hold on, let me use my Doodle pen, put that bow tie on there.
I can have my own bow tie filter, right? And we'll just put a bow tie on there.
Exactly. Oh, we'll call it the Bourbon Blog bow tie filter. I'm getting 10%. I just decided.
I like it. All right. Or if I ever decide to get a tattoo, I guess I could just do the tattoo with a bow tie right there. That would also work.
Well done.
Then you don't have to worry about wearing one.
It'll be part of your jersey thing. We'll go send you to our boy Tattoo Tony.
That Tattoo Tony will do anything you want. Exactly.
Tattoo Tony will take care of business.
And be perfect.
I'm an instant show with that, right? Just walk around with no shirt. That would work, right? It might just be my jersey look.
We just have to make sure that doesn't equate to you having couch time with your wife.
Right.
Hey, honey, look what I got. Hey, honey, there's the couch. Yeah, as you can see, I'm familiar with making bad decisions. So, yeah.
I know. How long have we been friends? 15 years?
God. It's like
that was your
really
first bad
decision. Hemorrhoids that don't go away, and you just got to get used to them.
That was your first bad decision.
My friend.
Was it a tattoo? Was it a tattoo he got?
No, just me being his friend.
Oh, okay. That's the story there. How did you guys meet?
Tom was trying to figure out how the hemorrhoids matched in. I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you. How did you
Matt? The first time we met, was it down AC? Well, I wanted Scarfest.
I met you before that. But the real time that we hung out was and we're talking, I think, 2005 or 2006.
Yes. Yep.
Holy
and
shit,
we
we're getting old.
Yeah, and we just, whatever reason, not even the opposite of a yin and a yang, two magnets go polarizing opposite. That's Matty and I, and we just stuck together, which is amazing.
Yeah, we were two asshole magnets. It was great.
Yeah, that's right. I guess we were the opposite from each other. So, hey, you want to see something? I get the perfect picture. It's even better than Matty. Come here.
I find that hard to believe.
My lady.
All right,
hey.
So that's fine.
Hi.
What's up,
Tom Fischer, and the Matty man.
Matty Rock, what's up?
Hey, darling, how are you, boo boo?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm living the dream.
Living the dream. I know you're not having a cocktail.
Nope, he's having his black cherry.
You guessed correctly, madam.
The black cherry.
Oh, what? I love that. Oh, black cherry. Yummy.
Yep, Stuart.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know they made a black cherry.
I'll make sure that I got plenty of them next time we meet, unless the next wave of things come, which I heard is raping squirrels on meth. So I think that's the next thing we have to watch out.
Very cool.
Actually, we're planning on trying to get up to Sandra's. He's got the outdoor lounge open, so we'll do a big meet there.
Perfect. Well, big beef 6 feet apart, but yes.
Yes, we'll get Tom to fly in. Come to Sandra's. You'll never be the same.
Oh, wait, where are you, Tom?
I'm on the border of Indiana and Kentucky.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're a little distance from us.
That's so we're practicing social distancing.
Yeah.
We're practicing social distancing.
No.
So close yet so far away, or vice versa.
IPCPR last year.
Yes, yes. Or maybe I met you last year. Oh, no, that IPCPR.
IPCPR, yeah.
I thought he meant Sparta.
Nope.
party going on behind us.
And speaking of that, Tom, that's stuff that you were asking about before. So I cannot guarantee it yet, but it looks like Cigar Fest will be in October.
Cigar Fest will be in October. Okay.
So far, and it looks like so far what Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest has not been canceled.
Okay.
Rocky not been canceled yet?
No. So notice I have these fingers crossed over here. So perhaps there's hope to have two large scale events this year. So we'll let you, as soon as we know, we'll let you know. So far on target, but we both know
they're
no
still
guarantee.
planning Cigar Fest right now, unless the second wave destroys everything.
So we'll see what happens. So far it's still on the cards. So if people behave and do what they're supposed to do, and the numbers stay reasonable or stay down, we'll have Cigar Fest. So we're hoping that it works out. It's a hell of a lot of fun. We'd love to have you out there as our guest if it goes through. I think
oh yeah, you'll be exhausted at the end of the 4 days.
Amazing. No, I would love that. It'd be great to join you guys. It'd be very nice. And again, that one is. Tell us the details on that one more time.
Supposed to be it's either September or October. I
got the date right here, guys.
Nice stuff.
It's October 14th.
Yep.
Well, actually, 16th and 17th, which is a Friday, Saturday, but Thursday's the big Drew Estate event at Hamburg. So it's the 15th, 16th, and 17th of October.
Nice. All right.
So God willing, everything works out. There'll be Cigar Fest, and like I said, so far Rocky Mountain, which is at the end of August, is still a go as well. So that's kind of a TBD thing, but as we get closer, we'll know when things are firmed up.
We'll definitely keep everyone posted until then, and we appreciate the updates. Chad is telling us that the whole Barn Smoker admission tent is here. So
that's right. We are.
That's right.
Yep.
They're there. They're there.
Get in without going past Matty and I.
And he's asking me, after smoking the Pappy, how do you think a rye would pair with it? I think one of the last times Matty and I did it, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I can't remember a couple weeks ago. We had a rye. I think we had some Peerless rye, and it was amazing. It really,
I think you did marry it up.
The spices really made things come alive. So I think the spices were very complimentary and it's slightly accentuating. Bradley Schneider from Kentucky is asking, best mid-price Maduro cigar that is widely available. Which of your collection? What's your favorite?
Underground.
If you're going to go
Underground Maduro.
If you're going to go
Underground Maduro.
Underground Maduro. And I know Pete and I, for our sizes, there's something that's called the Corona Diva. So it's a little bit bigger than your average Corona. That's
6 by 48.
Yep.
Or 6 by 46.
Yeah, I think it's 46. So I think the size, strength, if you're looking for purely middle of the road, Maduro, natural sweetness, that's the stick to go to.
Yes, it is. And the Undercrown is just one hell of a smoke. When I give cigars out to my friends to try, of course, Drew Estate, the first thing I give them is an Undercrown. And they fall in love with it. Well, then I'll give them the 3 variations of the Undercrown, which is the Connecticut, the regular Maduro, and the Sun-Grown. So you got 3 flavor levels and 3 strength levels, and they just go bananas over them because they're just from the price point, from the flavor point, and from the strength point, you have a whole gamut of people just enjoying them.
And each one is a very, very specific flavor profile. So if you're into the Sun-Grown, you get that natural, I call it almost like a little citrus bite to it. So they're spicy suckers. So it kind of has a citrus spice to it. So I think, Tom, what we'll throw in the next week or two for you to go match up with something is we'll try some of the Sun-Growns so you could see what you pair that up with in your itinerary.
Yes, no, I would love that. No, they're all great, and they all work so nicely with cocktails, with whiskeys, just all incredible stuff. So many great people. If you're watching us now, tell us down below, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. Tell us what you're watching. So Chris Kay put his. Is that one of the coffee roasters? Janice Coffee.
Good job, Chris.
Janice Coffee Roasters to talk about there.
Okay.
Excellent. And I see Elaine and Michael. So many good people. A lot of people who've jumped on before, but some new people that I know that have jumped on too. So Thanks to all who are watching everywhere. Yes, so we're doing the Pappy. When you had tried the Peerless rye with me in Vegas, when you tried the bourbon, what were your thoughts immediately on the bourbon once you tried it?
The bourbon, that bourbon is sitting at around 110 proofs, though. Yeah. The initial pop was like, woof. But after that initial pop or after the initial taste, the settlement on your palate, it was amazing. It just smoothed down. I got cherry notes. I got some coffee notes on there. Of course, that little bit of vanilla, and the finish on it just kept on going. And after that first taste, you didn't realize it was 109, 110 proof. Like the bottle right now, it's 110.6 proof right now. So they range anywhere between 109, 111, somewhere in that, and it's just an amazing experience because of the different flavor explosions that are coming out in your mouth, depending and in the different parts, from the initial, from the finish, and what's sitting on your palate afterwards. It's really good.
It does have a long finish. That's to me, that's so important to have something that just hits you good in the beginning, the middle, and has a beautiful finish for a bourbon. I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, you get some bourbons that are good, but they're the same. They're just stagnant throughout, no complexity to them.
Right.
And this one has a lot of complexity. It changes it face throughout the sip experience. So I enjoyed it. Just like your root beers and your cream sodas, right, Matty?
Right.
Your craft
depending on how it's crafted. Some are sweeter than others, and that's it. Look, you're the first time somebody's has Bullet. It's called Bullet for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
You'll sip on some Four Roses, go all right, then you'll have some Bullet, and you're like, yep, I sure got why they call this Bullet, because I can't feel my
legs. You know what the difference is? That's a fun thing that you just brought up. Four Roses Yellow Label is Bullet bourbon aged 2 years less. That's it.
Yep. And it's been around for ages. It just goes to show you how the marketplace has changed too. Because when I had my club and everything else, and years ago, and I still drink it, everyone's like, "Oh, very droll. You drink Four Roses." I'm like, don't sleep on Four Roses. It's good stuff. Now, every couple of years you have your rage, whether it be the craft beers, but since bourbon and rye and whiskey made they're coming out, it's all like, oh, Four Roses is pretty good. I'm like, that's great.
Of course, and now they're coming out with the small batch and the barrel, cash strength. Everyone's coming. They're following the lead of the craft beers, where they're coming out with all sorts of different versions of the same bourbon, different years, single barrel, a small batch, cash strength, like I was saying, and which is great. Problem is, you'll go broke trying to find that. Try everything, or try to find some of them. Yes. Like Eli Manning and Peyton Manning just came out with a new bourbon. Retail price, $200 a bottle, just to start off with. I will never see it.
Mostly because the liquor stores have cameras, so that's why. Yeah.
Well, that too. But the secondary market, the bottle's gonna be $1,000. Just because of name recognition.
Oh, it's all about marketing, right?
Yep.
Who's doing it? Who's
it's amazing how much it's grown.
Right? For years, look at how Absolute was marketed. I was never, when I was drinking, I was never an Absolute guy. I drink Stoli over it back in the days, and everyone's like, no, it's all about Absolute. I'm like, no, you've been seeing every single ad and everything on TV, so you drink Absolute, and you put it back to back. They drink. That's marketing is king in a lot of things.
Stoli I used to drink that on the rocks with a twist of lemon or lime. But I pulled a bottle of Stoli's out of the freezer.
Yep.
Ice cold.
You had the vodka rage, and you had Ciroc, which purists are all mad because, wait a minute, this is snapped grapes. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's grapes. They're like, well, it's not vodka. I'm like, it's vodka as part of the distillation process, but the purists are shaking their head like, no, sir.
What did you used to really enjoy drinking then, Matty, back in the day? What was?
Like I said, man, there were when I was really young, I was a pretty cheap date. I lugged around my bottle of Jack Daniels. And when I felt that I was classing to join up, I had some some Johnny Black. That was one of my go-tos when I felt like a classier kind of lad. I quit so many years ago. I was part of one of the first craft beer ages. So places like Saranac, it's up out of Albany, they made some great beers back in the day that a lot of people didn't know about. I like them. Have my have your one of the first to do their blackened cans and everything else. So I love that kind of stuff. And then I was right during probably the first vodka, the first vodka rage. So that's when everything else came out. There was Ciroc, and then everyone was drinking Belvedere, Chopin, and everything else. And for me, I was most of the time I was mostly a Stoli guy because Stoli was my drink. So I was my Stoli guy. Give me just a twist of lime in my Stoli or a little club, and I was good to go with that. I won't lie, most people are purists. I put my head down, but I did like Ciroc because it was incredibly smooth.
Right.
People ask me what's a very approachable vodka for people who don't drink a lot of vodka and don't like the burn. So, kind of put your head down a little bit. I'm like, got to tell you, man, Ciroc is a go-to for that because it's so incredibly smooth and went down. It's like gins. What gin are you going to drink that goes down so incredibly smooth that, the only time you're drunk is when you go to get up and you don't know where your feet are anymore.
There's a lot of good gins out there, and not even you don't even have to go to the name brands. And like I love New Amsterdam. I love, I'm sitting out on the bay here. It's a hot day out. I want a nice, refreshing cocktail. I have New Amsterdam up in my cabinet, and I'll make myself a nice gin and tonic with a lime, refreshing itself. You don't need to get Sapphire or Beefeater.
What are you thinking, Tom? Because we don't talk much about gin. What's one of your go-tos when it comes to gin?
There's so many good ones. I've always been a big fan of Nolet's. It's made in Europe. It's really great stuff. Same family that makes Kettle One vodka. They make the Nolet's gin. That's definitely been one of my favorites. Of course, as a go-to, Hendrix is really nice. There's some very nice artisanal craft distilled gins that I've really been a fan of. And there's a lot of barrel-aged gins. These barrel-aged gins are really becoming quite a thing too that we're seeing more and more of, just with that little touch of maybe 6 months to 8 months, 4 months on that gin to make it sort of whiskey-like, but still give you those gin notes.
Just enough to add new character to it,
right?
To give it those notes.
It's the craft experience. How do I change the actual product to make it something different? Like this. There's every possible way they've crafted beer, between fruits and herbs and barrels and they're trying to come up with new. I got a chocolate peanut butter stout in my fridge. Yep. They're using anything. And now the same thing with the bourbons and ryes. You got craft bourbons and craft ryes coming out. They're trying anything to get that edge to make marketing, to make that sale.
And I remember that.
Vodkas went to every flavor known to man.
Right.
It used to be just vodka, and now it's flavored vodka. And now there was only
25 years
flavor
ago
vodka.
Bar
Now
Harbor
there's
blueberry
82
beer.
different flavors. What's that?
I said I literally remember 25 years ago going to Bar Harbor. I'm like, this blueberry beer, this kind of shit will never last.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, it's like, nope, I guess I missed the boat on this one.
When I was a teenager, the big thing that was out there was no craft beer. There was foreign beer. There was imported beer.
People still rode horses.
And if you look, if you go into a store that sells beer, back then you had a huge case of American beer, and then you had a huge case of imported beer. Right. Now you have this little cabinet of maybe 10 different imported beers. You got your American beers that maybe 2 more times size, and then you got a whole aisle of craft beers. The imported beers don't come over here anymore.
Started that trend, and it just kept going. All right,
I used to love
Sam Adams and just moving out from there.
We used to do Friday night import night, where everyone buy a different 6-pack of an imported beer, and you mix and match, and you get to try everything. And you never had the same beer twice because there was that many on the market. Now you can't find them.
Yep.
Unless you go to the countries. It's amazing how things change.
Yep.
So many great people joining us. It looks like Chairman Lai just joined us.
What's up there, Rich? How you feeling there, Gimpy?
Rich, what's up?
Saying hello. And Michael, is it Michael Beta? Bedia, thanks for watching.
Yep.
Doing some Tito's right now, and I think there was a question. Let me get back to what Chad had a question of about the Pappy fermentation process and what you get to learn at the Louisiana Barn Smoker and all the barn smokers. He wanted you to talk about.
Go ahead, Matty.
Yeah, and that's what I said. That's why when we talk barn smokers, each region has a very specific tobacco that that you talk about when you come to each show. And then obviously the name of the tobacco is Perique. Very, very, very old farm, old tobacco. And a lot of people forget. They're like, oh, there's not that much tobacco still left in the United States. Like, no, my friend, this comes right out of this parish. Some of those tobaccos are
St. James Parish.
And happy. They're actually, some of it is even pipe tobacco. So when you smoke, they were previously called natural, but due to the FDA, the name is reversed. They're called La Routans. So you have this aromatic pipe tobacco. And I'll send you a couple of those to Tom. I don't recollect if you've tried those yet, but they're rich, highly aromatic, naturally sweet, and really great. When you're looking to really change your palate up, it's a really, really fun smoke. There's quite an amount of different lines within the La Routan brand. And again, a lot of those tobaccos are from Perique and are from, those parishes down and outside of New Orleans, in Louisiana. And one of my favorites back in the day, I know Pete used to smoke it too. One of my favorite was the elixirs. They came in the little glass cases. As a matter of fact, I'll dig through my stuff and I'll shoot.
You still have them, I know, because how many times did we find them on the back shelf somewhere?
Yep.
And you bought up the whole lot.
Yep.
You'd have to really look for them then.
Very, very, very specific. They were not made in mass quantity. And like I said, if it's something you like, there's enough different La Routan brands out there that you're going to find something very similar in nature. It's a lot of fun. You're going to get ones that are called Irish hops. You have ones called Dirty, and it's a great name because that is this rich,
there's another one,
dirty,
NDB.
Black. Yep. Oh, and you even have Pimp
NDB,
sticks.
which is that's the one that my better half smokes all the time, and it's got that nice aromatic pipe tobacco smell. And if you want to know what NDB is, we'll talk about it offline. I don't want Lafferty beating the crap out of me.
No, he'll smush you.
He'll
definitely smush you. So what we'll do next time, so keeping that in mind, I'll send you that, so that'll be something for you to think about and pair up.
Cool.
And that might even be Tom making a special cocktail with one of those.
We might be able to. I think yes, we can make
that'll be that
special cocktail pairing. Question from Chris: any recommendations for Acid 20?
I think Mr. Duque's talking to you. Well, since you got that 20 on there, so to give you the idea.
Have you smoked it, Tom?
Yep.
Did we tried that one at in Vegas, didn't we?
You did.
Yes, we did, because that's when it was announced there.
It's been a little while since I've had it. Remind me, and I thought it was like the limited edition one, right?
Yeah, that was the one that had the silver wrapper with the 20 on it. That was the box press, the Maduro wrapper.
Yes.
And then Matty and I were saying that it is so familiar to the Acid 5 Maduro. Right, Matt?
So it plays a really nice homage to it. So you have medium body, full of natural sweetness, and they're not an overly infused cigar. So what I mean by that is there's not a lot of sugar and sweetness on the front end of that cigar. Where you pick up a lot of that is from that Maduro wrapper. So you're combining the natural sweetness of the Maduro wrapper with a little bit of infusion sweetness. So you have a really, chocolatey, silky, creamy, smooth cigar.
It's great. Very creamy.
That's another one I highly suggest if you're new to smoking cigars, you want something that's not going to put you on your butt trying to figure out where the hell your feet are. That's another one I would highly suggest.
Right. It was nice.
And it's fun. And it's about, and the fact that it's a box press makes it even a little bit more fun.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. The box press, it was, there was a lot of nice, creamy, sweet nature right there in the mid palate. It was really good. Really nice stuff.
Think of that little sweet cedar. So that's something to think about. So what would you have Mr. Duque pair up with that, Tom?
That's a good question. With the sweet and creamy nature of it, I mean, I'm trying to remember what I tried it with. I think I may have had some really nicely aged rum. If I'm not mistaken, I might have also done some barrel-proof bourbon, kind of like what we're doing now with the Peerless. Some of that nice barrel-proof nature. Get a lot of that char on there. The heat, I think, would work nicely against the sweetness of that. I think it'd be really nice.
The little Floyd DeCana 18-year.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff, too, isn't it?
That's great stuff. I'm almost out of it.
Now you're making me miss Nicaragua there, buddy.
Oh, making you miss Nicaragua? Oh my God. I'm just praying that everything clears up, that we could do our trip next year.
I don't know.
Matt?
I'm seeing what the next wave is. Like I said, I think it's rape squirrels on meth is coming for us next. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. You usually get there once a year or so?
Yep.
The last 2 years, Matty and I didn't go. We went previously the last 7 years straight.
Eight years, I think, actually. Yeah.
8 years. And
8 years
this past winter and the winter before, they were having a lot of unrest in Nicaragua. They were trying to overthrow the president, if you will. Well, or get him out, and it didn't work and all that. But that all settled down, and then this year we started this Cigar Safari, which, guys, look into jewestate.com, go to Cigar Safari and read about it. It's the best experience you'll ever have outside of going to a bar and smoker, of learning about cigars coming out, especially out of Nicaragua.
Seed to stick, literally seed to stick.
It's an experience. You go to the factory, you go to the farms, and you see everything moving, and you see from when they pick it out of the field to the barns, to where they sort the tobacco, where they grade the tobacco, where they roll, and they bunch and they roll, and they put the wrapper on, and then quality control, how exquisite the quality control Drew Estate is. Nothing gets through. That's not a number one, and then shipping it out. It's an amazing process. Matty, remember around 4 years ago when we went, when D2 was just a building, and then the next year it was half full of tobacco. Then the next year it was filled with 5 years worth of tobacco. Drew Estate probably rolls anywhere around 150,000 cigars a day.
Yep, that's
right.
Correct. And
so imagine the amount of tobacco you need to roll 150,000 cigars a day, and they have 5 years worth in their warehouse. Amazing sight. And tobacco is all over the world.
Like doing the Bourbon Trail. It's the equivalent of doing something like the Bourbon Trail. So you really watch how you watch it. You're out in the fields. You see it literally go from the seeds to the fields, the curing to fermentation to everything done by hand. So the amount of respect that you actually have for the product, this just accentuates how much you can really appreciate what goes into making a handmade cigar. So people who the first time they go down, they're like, man, I had no idea that it took this many people to make a finished product. So some people are like, I don't know if I want to spend, why is a cigar $8 or $10 or $12 or $14? I'm like, then when you watch how many people worked on that one cigar for you to get it, then you have that a real respect for the process, a real respect for the cigar. Like I said, I would consider it, the Mecca of, in your world, is doing the Bourbon Tour. This is there. I would consider that the Mecca of learning about it. And, you get to understand and learn about Esteli's rich heritage when it comes to cigars. When you're on one of our tours, you get to go check out Hoya de Nicaragua, which you and I spoke about before, Tom, being the oldest cigar manufacturer in Esteli. And it's really cool stuff because you learn so much, and you learn about the culture. You learn, it's everything. You get to do everything pretty much in one trip, and you get that really special appreciation for the process, the culture, and everything that goes into it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Chad said he got to blend his own blend of cigar there too.
Yes.
Yep. And now Shad is no longer allowed in Nicaragua. We love you, Shad, but I can't say anything. I've made about 20 blends over the year. There's about 2 that I'll smoke. The other 18 go to people I don't like very much. So
I have a whole Tupperware full of the blends over the past 8-9 years that we've gone, and I smoke them sparingly. Actually, I just pulled one out probably around 2-3 weeks ago, and it was marked that it was when I smoked it was but after 8-9 years, it's actually smokable now.
Well, I smoke mine sparingly because I'm terrible at blending. So I can be honest enough to say that if you want me to blend your cigar, think twice about it. It'd be a terrible idea. I'm the pizza chef of the industry. I'll tell you what I like in my cigar, and I'll leave it to the experts. Never once have you seen me hold up one of my cigars and go, "This is truly great." It'd be a lie. Just terrible.
No, that's. It sounds like a lot of fun. And so the one actually got better after several years. You said, Pete.
Yes, it did. I guess it was young.
It started losing its flavor.
Yeah, it did. I mean, so when I blended down there, I looked for everything that was probably not what was supposed to go together, and I put it together because you never know what might hit, and it didn't hit in the beginning.
Yeah,
There's
what
some
we
of
call
them
those, Tom? Dog rockets.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to a dog. They were that bad.
They're dog rockets. If somebody offers you a dog rocket, just nicely decline.
I save those for the guys that don't smoke, and they'll smoke like 3 puffs and throw it out because you don't want to waste a good cigar on someone that really
I don't even know if not
show.
nice people deserve that. So it has to be somebody. I'm like, you sure you want to smoke this at your own risk, fella?
Chairman's asking us what pairs well with pork rolls.
Pork roll.
Really?
Yeah.
Looks like I'm on a trip to California to come talk to you, sir. Pork
yeah,
roll.
You know what? Chairman Lai, he's got bodyguards. You're in trouble, dude.
Nah, he took that spill off the roof and he thinks it's pork
Chairman,
roll.
I'm going to have to send you out a loaf of pork roll. Pork roll. Remember, read it and weep.
I don't have to listen to this nonsense. Next time.
No, we had to get pork roll on here.
You'll get to eat one of the sandwiches and see what the hell we're talking about the next time
It's
you're
one of the ones he makes, huh?
What was that?
Jersey's
Is that one of the ones he
breakfast
makes?
meat.
The pork rolls he makes?
Well, it's a New Jersey cold cut. It's not found anywhere else in the country, unless they ship it there, which very rarely it does.
You'll find it. There's one factory. I don't remember if it's Case. There's one that has a factory in PA, but it's all pretty much Jersey and all from the same thing. Like Trenton pork roll is from Trenton, New Jersey. John Taylor, who made Taylor ham, was from Mendham and then moved to Central Jersey. Then he moved a little bit further north, and he exclusively had it as his for I think 20-something years. And it's funny because you learn about the FDA and everything else, and how government gets into it. So what wound up happening, and this is where our joke comes from, Tom, and you'll appreciate, we had to be stopped called Taylor ham because the word ham, the pork producers in the United States of America were pissed off that you were calling a processed pork product ham. So they went to the predecessor, the FDA, and they said, look, you can't sell it as this anymore. And he's like, but I've been selling it as this for 23 years, 22 years. I said, look, we're getting way too much heat from the pork producers of America. I'm like, at the end of the day, they're correct. Ham is this. This is not technically ham. This is processed. So after 23 years, they forced John Taylor to change it. Then it became John Taylor's prepared ham. Then it became John Taylor's pork roll. They wouldn't let him do it anymore. And then Trenton came out, and I believe after Trenton was Case. I think that's how it went. And
it's a funny thing. It's a north-south, just like the Civil War. It's a north-south thing. There's if you look at New Jersey, probably not even third, probably a quarter of the northeast part of the state.
North of the Driscoll Bridge. North of the Driscoll Bridge.
Call it tail ham. Yep, the rest of the state call it pork roll, and it's an ongoing fun war between the north and the south. It's pork roll. No, it's tail ham. I went out. I was up with Matty, and we went into one of his delis, and he ordered tail ham, egg, and cheese, and he said, "Yeah." I go, "I want a pork roll and cheese." He goes, "We don't have pork roll." I go, "Bring the friggin' product out," and they go, "What?" I go, "Bring the product out. I want to see what the label says." And they go, "No, we can't do that." I go, "Yes, you can, because you're going to give me pork roll. Because if you try to do it, And we just started the whole thing. We're having fun with it. It was awful. Yep. We do this on Facebook all the time because there are some like Matty that are adamant it's tail ham, and there's people that are so emotional that it's pork roll. And me and Matty just say, "Okay, we'll start it," and then we'll sit back and laugh our asses off.
Oh yeah, we'll watch the collateral damage. Even our ex-governor Chris Christie got into it. He actually, his declaration before he left office is it's Taylor ham. So we had a blast over that.
Oh yeah.
One of the local guys in New Jersey, he's called the Pizza Pope. His name is Peter Genovese. He's written 12, 14 different books. He's like, his only answer goes, "It's both." I'm like, "No, I'm not letting you off the hook." He goes, "It's both." I'm like, "Nope, I'm going to get you online for the record." And then he won't get online. He's like, "Well, it's tail air, but it says porker." I'm like, "Come on, Pete, let's go." But so I keep trying to put the pizza pope on the hot spot, and I can't get him to bite.
It's a fun thing. It's a fun argument that we have that no one gets violent, but it's really fun.
I mean, it can get violent. It's good that I don't drink anymore. Get me other.
That's true. I don't drink Jack, so
I might have a throwdown for that. Yeah.
I just finished the Pappy. I have lit up a Kentucky Fire Cured.
All right,
nice,
so now
sweet one.
Really good.
Yeah,
sweet.
Tell us about I really like this. Tell us about the Kentucky Fire Cured.
All right. So basically, what you're getting on that is you have your standard Kentucky Fire Cured with the Kentucky Fire Cured tobacco, but you have a sweet tip to it. So what makes that such a fun cigar is it's like having sweet barbecue. Now, the first couple of minutes that you smoke that, you're literally gonna kick back and go, you know what? It really has those nuances of sweet barbecue. It's like honey, kind of like honey barbecue a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So even though I don't drink anymore, I'd imagine that would be something you want to pair up with like a honey bourbon. So if you have one of those new honey bourbons, that's going to really accentuate that smoke. It's a great stick if you're out barbecuing, you're doing some ribs, you're doing some steaks. I mean, everything about that cigar says hello to backyard barbecue and hello to a honey bourbon.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's nice. It's a really beautiful balance of that barbecue being right over that pit with sugar with just the right amount of rub on it. It's really nice. I'm going to tell everybody where I started in case they're just joining us. I started with the Breckenridge in Colorado, the PX cask finish. That's a Pedro Jimenez. I have
never tried that yet, Tom. How is that? Tell me about that.
The sherry really gets on it nicely. I mean, that sherry really is. It's very strong with the sherry, but in a great way where it still lets the bourbon come through. And I was actually at the distillery in Breckenridge the day they actually dumped their first batch of this. And so walking behind the distillery in the summer, really, beautiful weather there in Breckenridge, really could smell that sherry with the bourbon. It's really very nice aroma. It's bold. It just goes nicely with so many cigars. And then
Can we get that on the East Coast, Tom?
I can check and see. I can definitely check and see. I think you might be able to.
Give Bottle King a try, Petey.
I'll give it a shot. I'll take a look at some of the locals here.
Yes. And then the Peerless Bourbon we went to with both up there. That's what we did second. And I think just with what's behind me, I got some great stuff behind me. I got some Town Branch. It's a single malt whiskey. I have some Fused Spirits. It's a coffee infused bourbon. It's pretty amazing. And I grabbed some Jefferson's Ocean because I'm a big fan of the ocean. It has some nice sugar, some nice salt to it. I'm going to put with this.
You brought that. You brought that with you to the IPCPR last year, and we tasted that last year.
Yes, we had a little of the ocean, didn't we?
Jefferson was your guys' tasting.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Tom, let me ask you a question. Do you like the bourbons that are infused with the different flavors, meaning apple and maple and all that? Or are you more of a traditionalist where?
Well, it all depends on my mood. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can put extra flavor onto the bourbons. One of them is actually, finishing it in a wine barrel like this PX. I love that. I think this one from Fused Spirits from Illinois, it's been rather than proofing it down with water, because most bourbons are proofed down to lower the proof with water. They actually use cold cut coffee or cold brew coffee by a brand called Cold Cut. So I love what they've done there. I think there's some out there that have kind of a fake flavor to them, but I think there's some that are done really nicely. I would probably gravitate more towards something like this, or a finished bourbon or a traditional bourbon versus one that has sort of more of an artificial flavor. But there's some that are being done nicely and with real products. We had a company on a few weeks ago on our nightly show that's called the Standard Proof Distilling Company, and they're from Nashville, and they're taking rye whiskeys and they're infusing like real flavors of like the coffee and of honeysuckle and of different elements, pineapple, mint. These are all different in different
you're using
bottles.
the
And they're
natural
doing
flavors
a
as
wonderful
opposed to
job
essence.
with the ryes. It just really, it's like a cocktail in a bottle. It's amazing stuff.
But it's not like there are some. I'm not putting names out there. There was one whiskey that I tried. There was a maple whiskey, and I thought I was drinking, maple syrup.
Right. Some have a fake flavor.
Yeah, and I just that's just not my palate. There's a peanut butter whiskey bourbon out, and I'm not going to go spend the money on. I would like to try it, but I mean, I love bourbon, I love peanut butter, and a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie goes great with bourbon. But
It's just like cigars. It goes to the difference between natural infusion and flavor. So
Correct.
very much the same.
Correct.
Very much the same thing
Oh, yeah.
is on the liquor end. So if you're getting something that's actually using natural flavors, or something that's extra barrel aged or cast that's retaining the natural flavor, what it's supposed to, as not to be derogatory, but some sugary goo, which is considered a natural flavor, which of course
Exactly.
is in essence.
It just all depends.
Absolutely.
I do like the Red Eye Rye. That's the one that's from the company from Tennessee. It's really a great coffee infused, and I do like this one a lot. If it's in your market, look for it. I think it's kind of to it's all about the right mood for these, the right pairing. I do like this Ocean with the Kentucky Fire Cured. The Ocean is, to me, is just one of the most interesting complex bourbons because it's been on the back of a ship for several years. Aging and seeing all the sides of that barrel and rocking around, and it just does amazing things. And it's just
that was an amazing one when we tasted at the IPCPR. I enjoyed that immensely.
Yep.
And actually, that's one of their most expensive ones too.
Yes. And by the way, I told our good friend Dave Girton that I'd be seeing both of you. He sends both of you his best.
Much love. Much love.
Yeah, you saw there in IPCPR with me. I think he was going to try to join on here at some point. Yeah. So what's coming up as far as new? I think we talked a little bit about it with you before, Matty. Any updates on any other new releases from the Drew Estate line?
So to box,
Matty, I got it. If you want me to handle it, I'm going to bring it up right now.
You want to talk about the new sizes of Tabax? Since Tabax is Petey's favorite thing in the world, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up right now. Right now, the latest announcements from Drew Estate were they're going Acid 20. Acid 20, they're going to be releasing Toro and Tubos in the metal tubo sizes. So that it goes from that square box press that they announced last year. Now they're going to put on the market come probably in August, I think it is, somewhere in August, September, that they're going to be shipping
production. Yeah. So,
the
tubo
with everything
size going on. Just don't hold us to a street date on that, but that's the proposed. And PD I know is excited about the new sizes of the Tabax.
Oh hell yeah. The BOTLs they brought up on 3 more sizes. They're going to bring up the Coronas, the 5x44, the Corona Gordas, the 6x46, which is actually my favorite size. You get the best flavor profile from any cigar, in my estimation, from a 6x46 Vitola. And then Lestero, which is Matty's favorite, the 7x38. So those all these are going to come out in around the August and September time frame.
Cool.
We have the Tabax, and again we go into Lonsdale size, which is 6 3/4 by 44 of the Tabax.
I know who's
my
that
morning
is.
Cigar. Yes, my morning cigar every morning is a Tabac Especial Negra or Tabac Especial Dolce or a Tabac Especial Cafe con Leche. Now they're coming out with the 6 3/4 by 44 Lonsdale. I think that will be my favorite cigar from now on, because that's.
I knew you'd be as giddy as a young schoolgirl to hear that.
Yes.
I think I got
Hoya's coming out with not a new cigar, not a new size, but a box. Shut the box. It's coming. The cigars are coming with a game in there. That it's an old time game that they used to play. Shut the box, where you have a bunch of dice, and I never played it before, but Matty, I don't know if you know anything about that.
No, I was a drunk. I wouldn't have played games back then.
Yeah, okay.
I would have just rolled dice in an alley for money. So that would have been the beginning and the end with dice for me.
And then Drew said it's coming out with
Can't take
4
the
more
out of
new,
me, can you?
yeah, new gift sets. You got the Fat Bottom Betty's, and you got where is it? Tabacs, and the Herrera Esteli Habanos, and the Underground Shades. They're all coming out in box sets that have 5 cigars plus a lighter with them, specific to the brand. So that's pretty good. A lot of people are going to be jumping all over that. And Matty, you were smoking this the other night. The Hoya is going national with the Numero Uno, the cigar that used to be just for visiting diplomats, if I'm not mistaken. Love the disco lights, Matty.
Correct.
The Uno.
And now they're going national with that cigar.
Yep. Wow. When's that going to come?
Again, it's a bill. They're saying limited. It's coming in July, so July, August time frame, and probably the Drew Diplomat stores.
Wow.
Also, what else we have here? The Acid sampler packs. We have the Acid 7 Wonder and the Acid Loud samplers. You have 2 different samplers that have 7 different acid cigars through them that go through the whole pyramid of the acid cigars, which if you're an acid nut like Matty and I are, we'll go crazy. And one of the big things is, in one of the sets, to bring it back to Nefasto. Remember those, Matt?
Yep. So Nefasto, Tom, I don't think you've seen one of those. So I think you and I talked about the Nasty before. So it's a conical shaped cigar. This one's a little bit bigger in its ring gauge.
I've seen pictures of these,
actually,
right?
It's quite a spicy nugget on this one. So bursting with flavor. It's one of the ones in the acid line, which I would say, Pete, if you agree, is full body.
Full body.
And, brings a ton of flavor. So I'll get you one of those out there. That'd be something very interesting to pair up with a mixed drink.
Nice. No, those I know the acid can taste really nice with the.
And
I like
the last one that they announced was
with Matty. What kind of light is that, Matty? What do you got there?
The last one they announced was the Year of the Rat. The Year of the Rat's going national now.
Year of the Rat.
So
the Year of the Rat was a.
Tom and I didn't feel like
the Year of the Rat was only event only cigar. What's that?
I said Tom and I didn't feel like waiting
What's
for
that, Matt?
the official word, so we started smoking the Year of the Rats on 3 weeks ago, Tom?
Yes. We got them early,
yes,
huh?
Yes. Well, they were event only cigars with Jonathan Drew for the past 2 years, Matt?
Yeah, no, even a little longer than that, probably. So
probably a little bit longer, and now they made them national. They said, you know what, there's an outcry for them. People want them, so they made them a national stick, and they are just fantastic. They're part of the, as John explains it, they're part of the Unico series where it all came out of blending the 9 and the 52, and they had so many versions of them with the different wrappers where you have the Habano T52 store cut and the Connecticut broadleaf. They had so many different versions. They just created new cigars from them in different Vitolas, like the 30 Rat, and the Year of the Rat, and the Ratzilla, and the Velvet Rat, and the L40, and Feral
You may have
Pigs,
noticed, Tom, that the rat may or may not be a theme by now.
There's a
theme.
So that was a theme. So that's like I said. So those are some of the new sizes that'll be out.
Lots of great new sizes. That's helpful, Pete. Thank you so much. That'll be exciting to try all of those and many of those with you guys. And it's so good to see you guys. We've had some pretty good times together. It's great to be on camera with you. That's part of the reason why we do this. It's especially as people are still. I know as our friends like you all there on the East Coast and many places, staying in and just really enjoying what we do. No matter where you are, though, hopefully if you did, whenever you joined us, this video stays up permanently on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You can, do the whole rewind thing, watch it, and just make sure you bookmark bourbonblog.com/live to make sure you check this out. And if you want to drop me a line and talk about whiskey tastings or anything we're talking about, Tom at bourbonblog.com. You can follow these gentlemen on Instagram. Gentlemen. You guys are both on Instagram, right? You both on it because I've been tagging you.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir. You guys have any cigar-related questions? As always, reach out to Pete and I. If you have any events coming up that you would like Tom to bring that education to you, definitely reach out to Tom. He's going to bring obviously your whatever type of event you're hosting to a different level with like I said, really an education more than just tasting. So it's you get the whole program kind of in one. So
Hey Tom, can I have a quick
reach out to Tom for that.
Tom,
Yeah, no,
can I have
go
a
ahead,
quick
guys.
plug for
Please,
it's for
please.
really important charity that's cigar related.
Yeah,
I'm one of the event coordinators and the Northeast Distribution Center for Cigars for Warriors. We're a 501(c) nonprofit. We have over 250 volunteers. None of us are paid. We collect cigars and cash to ship cigars to our troops in combat zones. There's 20 to 25 combat zones all over the world. We desperately, since we have no events going on right now, need your cigar donations. Go to your local cigar shops. Ask them if they are a Cigars for Warriors donation center. They know. They know us. Go up to the website, cigarsforwarriors.net. Cigarsforwarriors.com. You can make donations through that. They'll give you the addresses. They'll give you my address. They'll give you our friend Robert Allen, who's my counterpart in Florida, that handle all distribution to all our troops throughout the world. Our soldiers are the ones that are keeping us free. Yep, thank you. They're keeping us free. And the letters and the pictures and the postcards and the flags and the unit patches they send back are heartwarming. It's a little bit of home when they receive a package of cigars. We ship out between 25 and 50 cigars in a package with a magazine, with chew that's non-tobacco snuff that one of our companies that work with us are donating. Cigar Press magazine. They donate magazines every quarter around probably. We're looking at around 1,000 magazines that we send out to the troops. They're the ones that are making us allowing us to do what we're doing right now. So I beg you guys, please support us.
Yep, the men and women really of the forces really appreciate those creature comforts. And let me tell you, when you have a bad day, we just pop down into our couch and bitch about it. Some of these people are in absolute hell and war zones, thousands of miles away from their family, their friends. So anytime you could do something to give somebody a creature comfort, to make them feel just a little bit at home, definitely reach out there and do it. It's much appreciated. It's much loved. And that's one of the ways that we can give respect and love back to the people who respect and love us.
No, that's amazing that you're doing that, Pete. I was actually just going to put a picture up here because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I just saw you posting a picture about it. There it is. There you are. There's all those cigars that you got for those guys. It's from Pete's page. I saw that you posted the other day, and I was going to ask you. So you guys are sending these out, so many cigars a year, just for those guys to enjoy men and women both enjoy.
It's the number one request from our troops that are in overseas in combat zones. Yeah. More than socks, more than coffee, more than candy, more than anything. Even the non-smoking soldiers, they'll come back from a tour of duty, getting shot at, getting bombed at, right? They'll come back, they decompress. Their sergeant, their captain, whoever it is, gives them the cigar, and they sit around and they don't talk about anything. They just light up the cigar and they just decompress. This was from home. Yeah. And it's heartwarming. It is. It's an amazing thing, and
thank you.
Matty and I are just tickled pink that we're part of it, just to make them feel that we care.
It's good to give back, 100%, Pete.
That's awesome, Pete. Well, we got the website up there. Everyone watching, definitely pass that website and what we're saying here, this video along, and we want to make sure we raise some awareness about that, because these are the times where we really need to raise awareness about great nonprofits like this that need our help. So that's great.
Righteous.
Yes, Pete and Matty, it's so great to see you both. It means a lot to have you both here. It really feels like we're all having, and we are, but it feels, part of why we've done this is to make sure we bring people together and make us all feel like we're in the same place and enjoying something good.
Likewise, brother.
My pleasure.
You and the family.
Definitely.
And we look forward to you guys raising a glass and smoking cigars in person. But for now, here we are, and we will see you soon.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Much love,
my brother.
Much love.